for the Hannity hot seat, and tonight we want to address Joe Biden's outright dishonesty. After promising not to raise taxes on you, the middle class, he then hiked taxes on all of your 401ks, increased taxes on gas, oil and coal. He also tax people's 401ks on top of corporate taxes, $250 some odd billion. Corporations don't pay taxes. He had to defend that and many other positions of Joe Biden is Leslie Marshall. So, Leslie, take a look there. I have video of Joe Biden. Let me play it for you, promising not to raise taxes on anyone making less than $400,000 a year. Your president made this promise.
Let me say that again, be crystal clear. No one making less than $400,000 a year will pay a single additional penny in tax for all these things that were in the Build Back Better plan.
Now, I'll put it up on the screen again. $6.5 billion natural gas tax, $12 billion crude oil tax, $1.2 billion coal tax, $74 billion stock tax, $225 billion corporate income tax hike. Corporations don't pay taxes. Intellectual honesty time, Leslie. I've known you a long time. Did Joe Biden lie to the American people? Because those taxes affect every American that heats their home or fills up gas in their car. Did he lie?
No, because what the president said, and I quote, he said he would seek to impose an increase in taxes on oil and gas corporations who did not reinvest the profits. And if you don't reinvest the profits, we saw what happened, right, Sean? We saw years of lack of reinvestment and these huge corporations pocketing the profits while the American people saw the corporations increase gas, increase oil prices, and that's what hurt the American people.
Leslie,
it wasn't Biden, it wasn't Democrats, it wasn't even Republicans. It was these rich corporations.
No one making less than $400,000 a year will pay a single additional penny in tax for all these things that were and he said it 100 times. So you're just going to go with the answer and just outright lie to our audience? Because that's not true what you're saying.
No, I'm not outright. You know me very well. I'm very honest. I'm not outright lying. Here's
I think
what
you
happens.
believe it, but it doesn't mean that it's totally false.
If I tax you, Sean, if I tax you and you pass that taxation onto your customers, am I taxing them, or are you just
that fills up their gas
you charge them to keep your greed and your wealth going? And that's what these huge corporations do.
Anybody that fills up their gas tank will pay more because of his tax. Anyone that heats their home will pay more. Let's move on to the next question here. All right, Biden called Trump irresponsible for his handling of documents at Mar-a-Lago, and President Trump did have the power to declassify. There's no set way to do it. Joe Biden didn't as VP. By Biden's own standard, was he irresponsible? Simple question.
Look, I said this when the documents were found by former President Trump, and I think the same, and I don't care if it's a Democrat or Republican. We obviously have a huge problem here, whether you're president or a vice president, with the process or lack of process for documents leaving the White House, leaving offices, and where these boxes end up going. That's a huge problem. We're seeing that. The American people are aware of that.
Okay.
I think there's hypocrisy here, quite frankly, Sean, on both sides.
Is he a hypocrite?
You have Republicans very angry, wanting a special counsel.
You got to work with me here, Leslie. We don't have time.
And that's not good enough.
I don't have time for a filibuster. Is he a hypocrite? Yes or no?
No, I don't think he's a hypocrite.
Okay, next question.
I don't. I think he was being judgmental toward the actions of the former president and not aware. It's like a library book. You find the library book and you didn't know that you had it. You return it to the library. Is that what happened with the former president? I think it's a different thing.
Before my blood pressure goes up even higher.
Bring them back.
Biden campaigned on having a fully transparent administration. So why won't they release the visitor logs for Biden's Delaware home? And why did Karine Jean-Pierre tell the public that the search was completed before more documents were discovered? Is by him not releasing the visitor logs, he spent 40% of his presidency so far outside the White House. Isn't that hypocritical? Isn't that the opposite, the antithesis of transparent? Last question, yes or no?
I don't think it's hypocritical. First of all, there is a question, there's a difference between the White House visitor logs and his residence. The resident visitor logs, he technically is not, doesn't have to maintain and release those logs, but I think they should be released. Absolutely put that out there to have full transparency. If you remember, the former president did not release the logs from the White House of his visitors at that time.
Leslie Marshall, good to see you. Thank you for joining the hot seat.